Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Kind Regards podcast, where we discuss navigating life at the intersection of career. Today, we are speaking to someone who is a recognized leader in the digital space who is shaping the future of innovation and data in the Zambian landscape. We are speaking to multiple award-winning executive Owen Malambo, who currently serves as the Director Digital and Technology Transformation at Absa. I am very excited for this conversation where Owen will share his career journey, his thoughts on leadership, and everything that has shaped him in getting where he is today. Let's jump right in. Owen, welcome to the Kind Regards podcast.
Zamiwe, thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this conversation, and I think that it'll be good to just share what we know and to also hear from you, right?
I want to hear more from you. So, yeah. Before we get into it, we're going to kick off with some icebreakers.
Okay.
To just know you a little better.
Okay. Let's see.
So, did you used to watch wrestling as a kid?
A little bit of it. Interesting that I haven't been a very strong TV person, but I've watched a bit of wrestling.
But you know how the guys walk in, right? They walk in with a theme song. What would be your theme song if you're walking into a wrestling ring? It doesn't have to be a fight, but it's like you're here.
You had to get it. And it really caught me off guard. Something I would never think about. Mm-hmm. But it's the most strange thing because I just listen to soft music. So I think I would go in with AKA Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it pumps me up. Like in the morning when I'm going for work. It's one of those songs that it would really, really pump me up just a bit.
I love that.
Yeah.
R.I.P. AKA.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to play a game of Would You Rather with you right now.
Okay. Let's go.
Would you rather never be able to eat your favorite food again or to only be able to eat your favorite food for the rest of your life?
Only be able to eat my favorite food.
What is your favorite food?
Fruits, any fruit. Any fruit. I would eat fruit for the rest of my life. So if you give me mango, I would eat. If you give me pawpaw, I would eat. Apples, I would eat that every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think you're kind of cheating because you say fruit. That's a food group. So It's not one thing. So it's not like I will eat a mango forever.
I would eat a mango forever. Then like I would eat every day. Like I'd wake up, I'd eat mango. I would eat mango for breakfast. I'd eat mango for lunch. That's how much I love mango.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather be able to fast forward your life, moments of your life, or to press rewind?
No rewind for me.
Forward all the way.
Forward.
Spoken like a true visionary and innovator. And last one, this one is silly.
Okay.
Would you rather have hiccups for the rest of your life or constantly feel like you're going to sneeze but can't?
Hiccups are terrible. I would rather feel like sneezing.
Same. And also, I feel like you'd get used to it and no one has to know you're going through it, right?
Because hiccups actually can tire you. You know that? Like, you can actually feel tired. And beyond that, if you have hiccups, if you have eaten, it's uncomfortable. It's so many things with hiccups. I think I would rather feel like
sneezing and never get the relief. You'll be fine.
I'll be good.
Okay, let's dive in. Who is Owen, the person and the professional?
Wow. So on many things, right? The truth is that there's no single person who's one thing to many. But I'd just like to look at myself, first of all, and most importantly, I look at myself as Owen, a family person. I think my essence, my reason today is really focused on the fact that I belong to a group of people that I call family, and that becomes a very important part of my life. And I'm an everyday guy. You will find me on a weekend just enjoying a game of soccer with my friends, if it's playing or watching, and just a lot of banter. My eating habits are very bad. I've been told this many times, but I don't try and accept it, because what I say is I eat what's necessary and when it's necessary. So that's pretty much me. And I love to do simple things like, spending time with nature. I've been learning how to rear goats. So that's something that I think I've been passionate about in the last couple of years, and sheep as well. And I've got a few cows, and I want to see if that can expand. So that's stuff that I'm really like silently passionate about. But outside of all this, the best moments in my life are those that I spend, and I sometimes get in trouble for this, in solitude, where I'm alone and I'm just trying to learn who I am and who I have become. So that's who I am at a personal level. But if you then ask me to talk about a professional side, it's a very long journey, broad. But all I can say is that I'm very privileged today to be in a job that I really, really love, I'm passionate about. And it's a job that gives me fulfillment, because I know many people go through life without the opportunity that I've had to be in a job that you've always wanted to be in. So I work today, as you know, obviously for Absa. And again, I'll still use the word privilege. I've been privileged to work in very good organizations my entire career. And what that has given me is not just the privilege of, being able to live life okay, but also to meet different people. My day job today is to wake up. That's if I have slept. Is to wake up and solve some of the most complex problems we have for our customers, for our colleagues, but not just solving, but also create solutions that, are future fit and can bring so much value to my organization. And I'm also very passionate about how I can help my colleagues become better people. And so I do have an opportunity to mentor a few colleagues, and it really gives me fulfillment. So this is just who Owen is. And I've given you 2 sides to it. There's many other sides. I always thought I was going to be a footballer, for example. Wow. I never saw myself working. And so I'm just happy that maybe my son will be a footballer. So I just think that dream hasn't died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, from footballer to award-winning tech individual. Yeah, you look like you have something to say on that.
Because my mom, I just, in the moment when you say that, my mom growing up, really wanted me to focus on school. And so I always think, and I always used to tell her then, and she's late now, my soul rest in peace. I always used to tell her that, when we watch soccer and you're sitting with her, and I always tell her, to see, I could have been this guy you're watching. So, but yeah, I really wanted to be a footballer when I was growing up.
Do you regret not being able to do it?
Only because I don't know what would have been, but I'm very happy with what I've turned out to be. I mean, football, like any other profession, requires a lot of discipline, and I've been able to apply that in my current line of work.
I respect you being like, I don't know what could have been, but I'm also like grateful and happy with where I am now.
Yeah,
I feel like, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do? I know you explained in broad strokes what it involves, but what do you do in your day job, and how do you end up doing what you do?
Okay, what I do in my day job is really the first thing that I need to know when I wake up, whether it's a working day or a non-working day, is to know that the products and services we are offering to our customers are in a working state. That's perhaps the biggest job that I do, just in different ways that I do it. It could be me making sure that the team that's supporting maybe digital channels, for example, are in the best condition to work. Are they not sick? Do they have access to the 2 systems? Are they monitoring the systems? Are we reacting correctly? So my biggest responsibility for my employer today is to drive the right customer experience today and tomorrow. And that becomes very important, because it's really, in a market of 19 banks and, a lot of fintechs, your value proposition, your sell point is going to be on the basis that you've got a product that customers can use, because you're all offering the same things.
Yeah.
So how different is it from others? So that's number one. Number two, I'm responsible also to just making sure that the investments we make in our technology environment are not just of high quality, but are going to offer us the right returns.
Yeah.
So from a strategic standpoint, I obviously look at how we are landing our digital strategy, number one. Number two, and just how then we begin to play competitively in the market. So that's part of what I do. And then also, I always emphasize this. I trust the value of the team. Technology is very collaborative. There's no single person that knows everything. So my biggest job as well is just to make sure that I have the best team. And I've seen this even for myself, working in a group or in a team that empowers me, that creates me a space to grow, is very big. And so I'm very big on that as well. So that's what I do. But I also want to just give you a last one, that at the national level, I just feel responsible and duty bound to be part of a generation of, if I could borrow a word, called leaders that can influence, that can change how this country can begin to evolve and innovate and just drive economic transformation through technology. So I am all those things that I've mentioned, and I try and play in bits and parts of it.
I love that you went to the word leader, right? Because you are a leader in this space. I think not just within Absa, but within the Zambian context, given the fact that you've been recognized even externally. We were Tech Man of the Year in 2022?
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to know your journey to being the leader that you are today. What have been those key moments that you think have been inflection points to get you where you are? Like, when you look back, you're like, that was a big deal in my journey.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing to know about being a leader is, first of all, you need to be one that can be led. And people don't understand this concept and that's why, people that give problems to leadership, when you're in a leadership position and you've got a person who's doing one or two things, at my standpoint now, I always look back and I say, one day you will be in this position and you will know that's important to be part of a team that is really working together. But my moments, I'll give you three. One of them was when I started work, the first time that I started work in the banking space, because I've been around for almost 20 years. Yeah. So when I started work, I had an option of starting work in our head office and work in a department called loans department, or the option to go and work in a small town, no longer small, but small town, and just work in a branch as a teller.
Which small town?
Trauma then.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I opted to go to Trauma. And there was reasons why. I've been privileged through my career to have people that can guide me. And, informally or formally, I've been a big fan of, a council. So at the time, I thought about it. If I stay in Lusaka, just starting out of life, it would have meant that, you have the pressure of, and I just looked at how much I was going to get paid at that point. And I looked at the lifestyle that I wanted to live, because I didn't want any pressure. I was just starting life. I said Lusaka would have been difficult. It would have meant I would have been paying higher rentals. It would have meant I would need to find transport, and I didn't even have a car then. And I just didn't want that stress. I wanted to be in the best condition to work.
Yeah.
I might have been young, but I knew that this was important. So I decided that I was going to work from a Trauma, and it meant that for the first 3 to 6 months, and I'm very grateful for my elder sister and brother-in-law. Then they took me in because I wanted to first land safe on the job, not have to worry about have I paid rent, but focus on the job. So they kept me in for 3 months, and that's probably one of the best decisions. And the second thing to that was, I was choosing to be a bank teller then, and if you recall some time back, there were jobs that were fashionable, but I was choosing on a job that required me just, having studied, and I was an IT guy, to come and be a bank teller. And perhaps the best decision I made was that, because what it gave me was an opportunity to learn what banking is. Banking today, Zamiwe, is really giving the customer access to their money at the right time. Think of it in any way, every process we have around it.
Yeah.
But that's the process that says, Zamiwe, where's your money? Can I keep it? When you want it, come and get it.
Yeah.
If you know this principle, you have a lifespan in banking. And that's what I went to learn in the branch at that time. And I was privileged that within 18 months, I was able to move now into mainstream IT. I had settled. If you want to know, I bought myself my little car. So I knew I would come back and, focus on the job. So that's one. Number two, while I was in IT for quite a while, I was really doing well for myself. There was an opportunity to get promoted. And not really promoted. There was an opportunity to get into a role. It was a senior role. And I sat with one of the most senior colleagues who was there at the time. And I asked him, if he could consider me for the job and if he thought I could do it. And he was outright direct. You're a brilliant young man. You can do this job. And yes, I want you. But it's not the right time. And that moment was very complex for me. I'm like, but you say yes, but you've just said no.
Yeah, so what's the basis?
And what I did was then I sat to myself and I said, let me understand what this is doing. And at the time, they actually ended up promoting another person who was available. But he gave me one conversation that I held on, and he said, sometimes you have to prove people wrong by doing what they're saying you're not. One. So if they're saying you're not ready, show them that you're ready. Number one. Number two, sometimes you might be ready, but it's not your time. So it doesn't mean you stop working. And those words sat and stuck with me for a while, that barely 12 months down the line, the decision on me getting in that role was very easy. It wasn't even an interview. So I think that was a turning moment around how do you handle moments where you don't get what you want, and how do you then challenge yourself to continue performing. The other one, and I only sort of figured it out recently until my current boss talked to me about it, is I actually had moved to another organization, and I didn't realize the impact of the conversation I had with her at the time, because what I said to her was, and it was very brave of me now that I look back, was I said, I need to just go and try out and see if I'm really as good as I think I am. And then she said, yeah, actually, that was a conversation that she held on, because very few people are honest enough to have a conversation of exit and put it in that way. And now that I look back and I also have an opportunity to listen to people that may want to move, I think that was a turning point for me, because what she said to me was, if you go, just give your best. And if you ever need to come back, you can come back provided the opportunity is working. And I did come back eventually.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. So what I'm hearing from your journey is, first of all, I think you're a humble person. Like,
is it?
In a way, yeah, because in a time where you had the opportunity to live the Lusaka lifestyle, even though it wouldn't have been comfortable, your focus was, how do I make myself comfortable enough to be the best version of myself at work, right? And then also you're able to take feedback, right? Even if you don't like it, you were able to say, okay, what does this mean? I'm not going to give bad attitude at work. I'm not going to resign because they said, yeah, I'd love to have you, but I can't have you. Like, it doesn't make sense. You're like, okay, what can I take from this? And I think that requires humility and patience. So that's lovely. And I love hearing such stories. I love that you went to a place like Choma, because that is the Zambian story for a lot of us, right? And the point of this podcast is to showcase Zambian stories, African stories. So I love that.
That's true.
Another thing that I am picking up from how you've described yourself from the beginning of our conversation is also that you're passionate about what you do, right? Like you said, you've been doing this for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
What keeps that fire burning for you till now?
Wow. So, it's very interesting that sometimes even I ask myself how I get to manage through some of the work that we do. So let me give you an example. I have this running joke that even when I sit in meetings, Exco, or it's just even in public forums, 9 out of 10 times, technology people will be explaining why something didn't work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So rarely that people will sit, and then that becomes my responsibility, right? Rarely do people sit to say, oh, okay, out of 1 million transactions, you only had 2% failure. They will want to talk about the 2%. So the journey I've been through has taught me that my job really is to focus on the things that maybe most people don't really pay attention to, for the whole team to work the way it should be. Even in soccer, sometimes people that get celebrated are the strikers because they score the goals, right? But there's always going to be the wing back. There's always going to be the defender that does all the work. And, the team really performs. What really, really keeps me going is two things. One, that my job is probably very satisfying. If you look at what we do every day, you come in every day, there's a problem, Zamiwe, and I fix it. The moment that I fix a problem, for me, feels like when a striker scores and they're going to celebrate. I might not raise my fist and celebrate, but the moment feels very real for me to say I've been able to change someone's experience, someone's life in one or the other. That keeps me going because I think there's a part of me that's into service, and maybe that's the way I express it. The other thing, to be honest, and we don't say this as blunt as possible, we genuinely need, if you need to survive today, you need to work and be passionate and earn a living out of it. And it's really a reality. And people may not say it, but I think I should say it.
Like, we have to work.
We have to work. We have to work. The bills have to be paid. So it's a brutally honest point of view, but it's true, and we should say it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
A big part of your work is innovation.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a company or a person innovative? What is innovation anyway?
Very powerful question, and I love that you asked this because I always want to take every opportunity to explain what innovation is, because there's a misconception of it. People actually think that innovation usually is related to people building, tech geeks, in glasses, building, fancy apps and all that stuff. That's innovation, I agree. But the true definition of innovation is anything that you do today, Zamiwe. Anything that you do, whether with a system or just your thought process, even your thought process, anything that you do that helps you achieve something better, get to your destination quicker, improves your feeling, improves your output. So it's beyond just use of technology. Innovation is actually mostly in the mind. And innovation has become a big word in the recent years, right?
Yeah.
And I think that innovation has been in existence forever. When people decided that we are going to use tractors for farming, that was innovation. Yeah. When people decided that we're going to use computers, so you can see this gradual innovation. Yeah. And so for me, the biggest thing to understand about innovation is that we shouldn't box it to be the preserve of a few smart-looking people. It's our everyday way of interpreting how we should improve our lives. That's number one. But when you really, really dig deep into it, what would make an organization innovative? First of all, it's a type of leadership that the organization has. You can have the best written innovation strategy, but if the leadership doesn't buy into that innovation structure, then you're almost at zero. The second thing is that the leadership also drives the culture. So if the culture in the organization is that when Zamiwe tries something and it goes wrong for whatever reason, we don't first of all question the thought process, we just quickly punish. That's very dangerous. You are really blocking any small form of people's ability to innovate. But the second thing to that is that, yes, you can have a culture, yes, you can have a leadership that speaks into innovation. Yeah. But do you have the tools of trade? Because again, it's also important to know that innovation is not cheap. If I'm going to try out a few things here and there, I need resources, I need skills, I need all these things. So those are the things. And for me, it becomes a very interesting point because organizations today have roles they call head of innovation, and I always say, don't do that. Because innovation is not a department. Innovation becomes what the organization is. It becomes a culture. It becomes the way that people think. When a teller in front of a customer is serving a customer, what thought process do they have to make that the best experience? That's all innovation. So when you do that environment, and then now you get to use technology to improve that, then you become a truly, truly innovative organization.
What do you think the cost of not being innovative is?
It's very expensive. It's oblivion. You almost as an organization would go in oblivion if you don't innovate. And that's what I think, because think of it today. You and me today, we will reach a lot of people by sitting here, right?
Yes.
Think of it like, you see what I mean? And we will. Before now, the main traditional way that people would be reached is sitting in a stadium and you have a rally, right? But look at it. You and me can reach the same amount of people, even more.
Yeah.
But so for me, if the way that we do things does not evolve, we can go in oblivion. And that's why I'm saying, if you don't innovate, look at your BlackBerry. Do you see what happened?
Yeah.
Look at your Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So that tells you that if any organization just remains stuck in their ways, their ways will take them where they'll end up.
I love that. So what I'm hearing is, because you said innovation is expensive, right? You'd have the tools of the trade.
Correct.
But the lack of innovation is even more expensive.
Is it worse? Is it even worse? Is even worse?
One of the things you've mentioned is the importance of leadership, basically them creating an enabling environment that allows people to innovate, to make mistakes. And one thing I've seen from your leadership style is that you're intentional about your team connecting. I saw you sharing on LinkedIn say it's so nice when people pull their resources together to connect. And recently you also got an award, a performance award. And you said even though it's an individual award, it's a team win. So you seem to be very intentional about that. How has your perception of what makes a good team evolved over time? And why do you value so much connecting with your team and celebrating the wins together? And I don't know if taking accountability for the failures also comes as a team thing, but
it does.
I'm keen to hear your thoughts around that.
It does. I think for me, it's just the way that I define leadership at a personal level. I think for me, people explain it in many ways, but I just say that leadership is the amount of responsibility you take.
Yeah.
If I issue an instruction here, or I make a request for something, I say, guys, I'm looking for water. Is there anyone who has seen a bottle of water? The one that gets up and says, oh, a bottle of water is here.
Yeah.
Becomes a leader in that moment. They're leading.
The quest for a bottle of water.
Yes, you get what I'm saying. So in moments where you want to understand what leadership is, it's the ability to take on responsibility for the greater good.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this then becomes an important part of what an office environment should be. Even a home environment to a large extent, if not the most important bit. So now, if you bring in the aspect of understanding that leadership is a level of responsibility, is to who and to what.
Yeah.
It will be to your team, it will be to the organization, and it will be to your environment. There's an African saying that says, and I hope I get it right, if you want to go, is it fast?
Go alone.
Go alone.
If you want to go far.
So as a leader,
together.
If you want to do more, then you realize that your team becomes a big part of what you do.
Yeah.
So this is where, for the first time, I always say, it qualifies to say I'm nothing without you.
Literally.
Yeah, like literally. So you need the team, and that's why the team makes or break a leader. And having a team is one. Now, the second level is, how do you create an environment that the team can be better? I have certain meetings, there's Zamiwe, where I have taken the biggest punch. I've taken the biggest blow for a person in my team. And I've done that because I know being a leader is almost like a parent. You can sit there and you probably are on your last dollar or kwacha and you don't eat because you can't eat, your child is hungry.
Yeah.
And so for me, those moments become very critical. But I demand the equal amount of responsibility from the team I lead. If I'm going to go to war, assure me that you are in the team and you are punching the same level and we are seeing this thing the same way. So in the absence of leadership anywhere, whether it's in a banking environment, it's in a mining environment, without leadership, and if you ask me to get a bit more controversial, even at the national level, without leadership, countries are struggle. I listened to an interview, I think it's there online, of how the UAE views development, and because not so long ago, 50 years ago, they were not like that.
They really weren't. It's amazing what they've done.
And the only attribution to that is the fact that they say that leadership has been a big part of it. Even Africa today, Africa has the most resources in the world.
Yeah.
And we can debate about whether we're developed. And that's why I always say leadership is really the vision, the objective of why people should be together. Yeah. And the team is what makes it happen.
How does one person balance being a team player, but also being able to stand out as an individual from the pack? Because teamwork is great, but life is not a group assignment.
Yes, that's deep.
You know what I mean?
That's deep.
Yeah.
I think it's about defining objectives. I think that, look, ultimately, if the organization wanted, or whatever environment, if it needed me to succeed as an individual only, they would probably only be recruiting me to run whatever it is that is there. There's a reason why they will recruit Zamiwe.
Yeah.
And they will give you a team around it, right?
Yeah.
But the underlying and maybe the most underrated requirement in a team is the fact that everyone still has to bring their A game. Everyone still has to bring their full self.
Yeah.
Which is why, remember, I keep saying, as a leader, have you created this environment? Because yes, it's a combination of, if Zamiwe's job today is to, move the water from here to there, this is a very big part of what the team should be. Yeah. So yes, you're doing it in the corner, but it's a cumulative initiative that adds up to what the whole team can be. So yes, we are ultimately going to be looked at as a team.
Yeah.
But this team is comprised of what Zamiwe and Owen have done in their individual capacity.
Yeah.
But that issue you're doing alone, Zamiwe, is something that you'll be held accountable for. Which is why then we even have a situation that says, oh, Zamiwe, in this year you've been outstanding. You're part of a team. But you're outstanding because you were supposed to be bringing us 100 units. You're bringing us 200. Because it's in the same team where if you bring 200 when you're supposed to bring 100, trust me, there'll be others who are bringing 50. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. That's true. In a perfect world, everyone would be bringing 100, but like we have people bringing 200. So you're basically saying, just do your best, and it will. Yeah.
Every day, come give 101. See, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the extra.
Yeah.
So if you want to be ordinary, go ahead. Deal with like everybody else. And I tell this to my team: you are all the same grade. What are you doing to make any one of us here around you, me and the whole organization, say that Zamiwe is actually ready for the next level? It's that extra.
Yeah.
And then that becomes very personal again, So it's a mix of a lot of things, but I think that it's possible to still get a team of individuals achieve so much.
Yeah. And how do you deal with the people who are bringing, say, 20 as a leader? How do you approach that?
I think that when you focus on what people don't do, you almost magnify that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to be very clear as a leader that this is bare minimum. And beyond this, you can't be part of us.
Yeah.
Being a leader is almost like a
You
coach.
can't be part of us.
No.
Get up.
And you have to. And unfortunately,
the tough call of
leadership core. It's like a coach in a soccer team. You have the responsibility to pick the best 11 at every given time.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. If you don't do that well, your team, you become the reason for failure.
Yeah.
So as a leader, yes, there's going to be the 20%. Follow the process that deals with that. I mean, organizations, and you know this very well, they let you go.
Yeah.
And this is something that most people don't feel comfortable talking about it. I've done it before.
Yeah.
And guy, you're letting the team down. Please excuse us. And when people go through that in the moment, they're angry. But I can assure you, that once the maturity comes back, they will really call you and say, you know what, you were right.
And thank you for that. That was a growth moment for me.
Spot on, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's possible to do that.
I want to shift gears and talk about data, because I feel like you can't have a conversation with a digital person.
Yeah.
Well, you can, but
I know.
without talking about data and AI and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And data is such an important thing, right? And I don't know if in the African or Zambian context, we do a great job of gathering that and making decisions based on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to know, at which point do you think as an SME or a business should start placing importance on that, pursuing it, gathering it, sanitizing it, making sure it's informing their decisions, etc., etc.? What do you think on that?
Before they start their business.
Like while you're conceptualizing, don't start.
Just make sure data.
Yeah.
I keep saying this in different forums. Any organization today that doesn't take care of how they're using and keeping and just collecting their data will not be here in 10 years.
Oh.
The last 80% of the data we have globally today has only been collected in the last maybe 10 years.
Really?
Why? Because everybody, and even when people say data is a new oil, no, like data now is like the oil that's moving the world economy,
Yeah.
And the reason is that, you see, data can help you achieve so much. So when you're an SME and you don't have a baseline for collecting data, how are you going to know your customer? And the customer today is digital, because at the end of the day, what digital is it's got a strong dependency on data.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to play in a digital economy like ours today, globally and wherever you want to take care of your data. And when I look at the SME space, because I've been privileged to really work closely with our colleagues in business banking, which is a unit that looks after SME, has so much potential.
Yeah.
So much potential that sometimes it's a bit frustrating that this segment doesn't seem to fully maximize this opportunity.
Yeah.
We recently, and I was privileged to work with a team to build what we call a business management tool, and we're currently piloting it and we're giving it to a few clients for free. And the reason was, when we go and meet a lot of our SMEs, Zamiwe and friends, Owen and Sons and whatever it is, the first thing that people want to do when they want to have a business is, how can I get funding, capital, right?
Yeah.
But the places that fund you are banks or, venture capitalists, whoever it is that you want.
Yeah.
But the start point would be, okay, show me your business plan. What informs a business plan is data. Your market data. Who are your customers? What products? What has informed? Is it just a dream? So now imagine what we end up finding is a lot of SMEs that don't collect data. You find an SME has been in business for 2-3 years, but they don't have even records. What we did with the business management tool, and it was a very beautiful opportunity for us, because we had the customer, we had the bank, and we had technology, and said, how can we bring all these people together? And for me, that was very nice, because then we co-created a product where they can do their bookkeeping, where by click of a button, they can have a P&L.
Okay.
And what that does is that if they use it for 6 months, they can walk into any bank and say, hey, this is my business. These are my records.
That's innovation.
You get what I'm saying?
That's so innovative.
And
that product. Yeah.
And that's how I think that we should think about innovation and data and enabling the environment we live in. Yeah.
I love that. And I felt it was important to ask that question in the context of SMEs, because big companies like the one you work for, they have the muscle to gather data. What are some more of the opportunities that you think are there that are a blind spot for many that they're not tapping into, whether it relates to data or in the digital space? I'll leave it broad and toss it to you.
I think for me, the biggest opportunity that's there is that this world has opportunity for us to do so much more. Side conversation, I was talking to my colleague, we went for lunch, and for the first time we were discussing what are we going to do? Do we want to work forever? And I had a moment where I just realized I've had the same thought, that actually there's a lot of opportunity in our environment. Because why is it that we've got a few people that come from other countries, and they come here and they still just do it really well. I don't know about other countries, but I'm speaking from context.
Yeah.
So when I look at the opportunity that technology data presents for our SMEs and the SME environment is really broad. First of all, like example I've given you on just how to manage their business. How do you automate your process? You know, I know that way back, it used to be fashionable to say, okay, I'm Zamiwe. I've spent $100, and when I've sold everything, I have $200. And Zamiwe would clap for herself thinking I've got money.
Yeah.
But the truth is that she might have spent $100, but to get it, to make the 200, she's actually spending 199. You get what I'm saying? So you then can bring in technology, you can bring in data to help you really understand, is your business working? Is it something that you should focus on? So you can use it to design your products, you can use it to gather data on your customers, you can use data to present yourself to the world. Digital economy.
Yeah.
We've got all these opportunities that we have. So
my
view is that there's so much opportunities that SMEs can use. And I know that from where I see it as a bank, we're creating a lot of opportunities. We have 2 hubs at the moment, and we're using them to really just create opportunities for SMEs, build their capacity, create market linkages and all those things. In Livingstone, for example, it's tourism heavy. How do we leverage and build an ecotourism environment? What are the other activities that SMEs do that support tourism? If you go to Solwezi, there's mining. Equally, mining itself is not a standalone. Believe me, there's so much agriculture that happens there. Who's creating that ecosystem so that people can know that yes, there's a mine, but there's a population, there's people that need to eat, there's transport that's needed. So for me, and this is why I do sound passionate about SME, because I think that every one of us is an SME. It's just that we decide to give ourselves maybe a low mic and just do nothing. Because even you, Zamiwe, if you've got products that you can access at a lower price and sell, that's how the world should be. So many opportunities, and from government. If you look at what government is doing, we can talk about government night and day, the CEC loans, the marketeer opportunities. I think the environment is really, really conducive. That's my personal view anyway. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think that what you've described is going to be eye-opening for so many people that, are going to watch this, especially since we're in a time where things feel particularly difficult and you don't know where to touch to get what you need. So thank you for all that. Another piece of your work is transformation, and I want to know, how do you successfully influence change?
So 9 out of 10 times, change resistance comes from people not understanding what's in there for them. If you want me to move from my seat to yours, just tell me why and make me understand the benefit.
Yeah.
Transformation really focuses on small and big impact.
Yeah.
But it has to be very clear what the benefit is, and the reason why transformation is a big part of any organization is it is what acknowledges, it is what takes in the different generations. First of all, remember millennials, Gen Z, and you can go on. So that part can only be managed if an organization is transformative. So how do you get people to, buy into transformation? Is always go to the place that helps them understand the value of what they're doing. And value sometimes, Zamiwe, is not because I do this, I'll get value to myself. Sometimes you can make me understand that this value is for my grandchildren, and I will be able to support it.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to transform, which is 9 out of 10 times, if you do not know who your stakeholders are, and if you don't understand what their problem is so that you can solve it correctly, you're always going to face resistance.
Yeah.
So transformation has 2 sides. First of all, the thing that you want to do, the transformation that you want to do, if you don't fully define who will benefit and why, that's a problem, number 1. Number 2, the people or the system that you're going to use to transform if there's no alignment in vision, if people don't know why you're suddenly telling them, hey, you know what, we need to automate processes. If I'm going into a department and say, guys, what we are doing here is very manual, we need to automate, already they are going to think, oh, guy, you're going to automate and we won't have a job.
Yeah.
But then
kick me out.
exactly. But then as a transformative leader, the thing is, you're thinking, but I can get these guys and take them to a place where we can actually make more money if they did that.
Yeah.
So yes, I've automated loan processing as an example. But then, guys, you know what? Let's build new skills.
Yeah.
Let's go and do more sales so that we can be able to access more customers.
Yeah.
So yes, we've automated the loan process from 2 days to 24 hours.
Yeah.
But that means that now we can get Zamiwe and Owen to go and meet more customers. So you see, and then also just in being able to tell the guys, but if we don't do this, somebody else will do it. So we'll all lose together.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? And then we increase our opportunity of existence. So transformation is really just understanding how you carry everyone and make sure that everyone involved has the right benefit.
One of the biggest transformations that we have currently is the onset of AI. And like you said, people are fearing for their jobs and all of that good stuff. Yeah. What would you say to someone who is looking to stay relevant in the business world, the workspace, in a time where AI is seemingly, automating processes?
Yeah.
Tell me.
First of all, so AI is not here to replace you and me.
Let's start there.
Let's underline that. AI is not here to replace you and me. And the reason is AI will replace those that are not going to change. So that's not you and me.
Yeah.
You follow, right? Because
I like that you think I am going to change.
That's not you and me. Because look at it like this. 5 years ago, you were not this person.
True.
10 years ago. So you have been evolving. So why would you be scared of evolving? Because we all evolve anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. And also that people have thought that AI is this big black thing. No.
Yeah.
AI is actually... It's just been, what we're seeing now is just improvement, of whatever it started. It's like innovation. It started a long time ago. You know how, and also maybe, Zamiwe, let's take this moment to just even explain what this AI is, because sometimes people think this is just, where you have computer systems behave like humans. And I want to keep it simple like that. Now, this has been there for a long time. Let me give you a very simple example that people laugh at.
Yeah.
If I stand in front of people and I have a loud voice, and people can hear me, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if I get a microphone and then I speak and the speakers, I'm able to reach more, right?
Yes.
So I've just simply used a computer system or a computer hardware, if you like, to do what my voice should have done.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
So that's the progression of AI. So you've simply just substituted a human capability for a more powerful, for a better benefit.
Yeah.
So now when you come into the way that AI is being viewed amongst ourselves and amongst, just the general population, I think that we need to do more, those of us that understand it, to simplify it to the level where I have and say, guys, this is just here to improve you. But as a person, you also have to do your part and keep learning about it. So we're living in a market where AI literally, if adopted and used very well, can change a lot. And most of organizations that will accept, that will take it in and learn how to get benefit from it, will go very far. You don't have to do a lot of things that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because there's something else that can do it. For example, you've heard rumors of how, and this is online, but it's also a reality, that AI has been used, for example, especially in the legal space. You've got all this information that's stored. Why do you want to go and do something for 4 or 5 days when it can be given to you in 2-3 minutes?
Yeah.
Even more beneficial is how AI is changing our lives from a health perspective. So much benefit. And for me, we need more forums that explain how AI is going to benefit us. Has it got its pitfalls? I think it has, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everything as everything else. I always just imagine, because, for example, when it is used in the weaponry space and it's in the hands of a crazy person, it will be a one button.
Yeah.
But that's like water if you drink too much of it, right?
I don't know if it's the same, and I don't know if it's the same,
But that's like water.
but everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
I want us to speak about. So one of the things you spoke about in the beginning of our conversation was that you were thinking on a national level and the impact on a national level.
Yeah.
And I just want to refer something that you've said on LinkedIn. It's not a direct quote, but
Yeah.
you said something to the effect of you've had a realization that all of us hold a responsibility to encourage and inspire the next generation in words, actions, and even thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What does that look like to you, and why do you think it's so important?
It's very important, and it's a very deep moment of reflection for me because, like I always say, I say this with all the humility I have, that when you're a leader, you are in a privileged position, okay, and sometimes we forget that that's a privilege, and then we forget that we should serve. We forget that we should use our privilege or our blessings to the greater good, for the benefit of others. And I think that moment of reflection came for me when I think I was nominated for 1 or 2 awards, and I had an option of saying no. And the reason I didn't say no, because sometimes there's a tendency for people to say, no, I don't want to do that. And I said to myself, there's a young boy who's in Choma where I was, there's a young boy who's in Livingstone, anyway, and what he needs is someone who he can look up to.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, people look up to us.
Yeah.
So if people look up to you, Zamiwe, what are they saying? And that's very important, because what they see is wholly your responsibility as Zamiwe. So in a work environment, and even at home, and now maybe let's focus on the work environment. In a work environment, when you're a team leader, when you're a manager, wherever you are, whatever position, and my MD says this very well, the moment you walk in, trust me, there's people who are looking at you and say, oh, wow, I wish I could be like that person. When you sit in a meeting and you're chairing a meeting, there's people, yes, you're chairing a meeting. You know, when my team is quite big. And so I notice that when I'm speaking, there's guys that are looking at me and say, one day I want to be like Owen. So when there's that thought process around people that are with you, the question is, Zamiwe, what are you giving? That's a responsibility you have. And that's why I'm passionate about, for example, the hackathons that we do.
Yeah.
Because they help me bring my team to the front and give them a platform to express themselves. And that's why I'm never lazy to acknowledge my team and celebrate them, because you know why? Someone else is looking. I said to the team, one of the biggest statements I made when I joined this team that we are in, was that none of us should be the reason why a person should not want to come for work the next day. And against the risk of looking too perfect, I just say that we should be intentionally waking up every day to say, I'm not going to go to the office and just make someone's life a miserable way. Which is why I keep saying we have a responsibility to our colleagues at a greater level, at a national level, when there's need to handle conversations like around the Data Act, the Cyber Act, we should be part of that process and give input in one way or the other, because we know better. And when we know better and we put together with everybody that knows better, the benefit is not just to us, it's to everyone around us. So we've got a bigger responsibility, Zamiwe, to give and share what we know. Because if we share, imagine how many people we can impact.
Yeah.
Because by sharing, it's how we've become who we are, because others shared to make us who we are.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love everything you've said. So my last question to you, Owen, is say you're grabbing a coffee with the early 20s Owen in Choma.
Yeah. I'm picturing this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picturing it, right?
Yeah.
It's lunchtime. He's taking his lunch break, and you meet him for a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
What's your in a sentence? What are you saying to the guy?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something I was reading in the morning today. I was to say this, that if you're going to feel powerful by making other people feel bad, you are a very weak person. And I would say that over and over to myself, because it's important for me to be reminded that every position of power I have every day, whether it's 100 kwacha more than I had yesterday, should not make me feel any better than people around me. No.
No. See, it goes back to the humility thing I was saying. You're like, stay grounded. Dude, stay grounded and be nice.
Very important.
Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I feel like it's packed with so much value. So
my pleasure.
It's been wonderful.
My pleasure.
As you know, I always ask our guests to leave us with a quote.
Okay.
And a call to action, something they can go and implement after listening to this conversation. So what are your quote and call to action?
Oh, wow. What will be my quotes today? Just be at your best.
Be at your best.
Yeah, be at your best. I mean, because that's all you can be.
Yeah.
Be the best. That's all you can be. Whether you're angry, sad, just be at your best. And as I walk away today, I'm reminded of why it's important to be consistent. And consistency is not perfection. No. It's not. It's waking up every day, trying again, even when you failed.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a great conversation.
Pleasure's all mine. Hope to see you again.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Kind regards, Zamiwe.